these brilliant minds, these
so much talent,
exotic people,
so much talent,
these
just
sexy
3 chairs.
people.
Enough. Okay, enough.
Good.
Enough.
Happy.
Continue.
Yeah. So I've learnt a lot because these people.
These people again.
My co-stars have told me that for PS1 promotions I was trembling on stage, and this year they are saying that I speak too much. So I'll stop now.
No.
But सीखा तो किससे?
Sir, how difficult making these kind of films larger than life, and fighting sequences and horses, elephants?
The beauty of this film, I think, was, our personas are larger than life. Otherwise, everything else was very grounded. Like even the language that we spoke is old Purana Hindi, Purana Tamil. Okay, but we were asked to speak it like normally, like how we talk, So that was a difficult part. Likewise, the clothes we wore, what do you call it?
Armor.
Kapda. So the costumes, everything is very normal. It's not larger than life. So that was a difficult part. If you see, whether you see Mahabharata on TV or Ramayana, anything, what you see is a visual representation of what we think maybe, but this look better, no? This look richer, so put more gold, pick a bigger crown, have more horses. But in reality, it wouldn't have been gold, because gold is the most malleable metal. Like why we use it as jewelry is not just because it's beautiful, you can bend it in any which way. So you have armor which is gold, you'll die. So you cannot. And the crown is so heavy, like how many kgs, Padra?
It's at least 15 kilos.
15 kgs. He wore it a couple of
solid
and
gold.
He lost about 2 inches of height. It's that heavy. So it's not like we don't try to, make it bigger. We try to make it real, which was difficult.
Yeah.
And what is the other part of your question you say? That's it. That's
So
thank you.
Yes, sir.
He forgot his question hearing our answer. We are very sorry.
So what would you say? How difficult making these kind of films?
I think it's like going to war, sir. Every department has to work very hard. Like for sets, the sets have to look real. They have to do all the research first, The preparation for this film before we start shooting was 2 years. 2 years of preparation before we go and stand on the set. So imagine the amount of research going into the palaces, how the palaces have to look, what kind of material stones they used, what kind of costumes you are going to wear. The armors are wearing leather.
See, even what he's wearing, what I'm wearing.
Yeah. And like for example, the king is not wearing the armor all the time. When the king is in an army camp, he's relaxing, he's only wearing a shawl on him. So all that was taken from what was written, from the statues, from the scriptures. They've done all that research. They've developed all the material, what kind of fabric. So this is a lot of hard work for the production to bring everything together. So we're not only talking about actors. There are so many technicians like Vikram Gaikwad sir, the looks that he gave for each character. Because it was already drawn. This novel, when it was written, it was drawn by Ponniyin Selvan. The artist had drawn the visual for every artist. Like Kundavai's bun was already designed there. They just had to properly recreate all that. So there's a lot of work. Apart from actors, I think there's a lot of other hard work by the production design, for the cameraman to get the look right, Ravi Varman sir's look right. Because he wanted this film to look 10th century, but still feel contemporary. Now the younger audience should still like it. So they shot it with handheld. So it's not easy for a man to carry the camera all the time and walk around. And for us actors, we have to be skilled like an athlete. Because Mani sir shoots in 2x speed. What work gets done in 10 days is finished in 4 days. So imagine from morning 6 to evening 6, people are just running around to get the shots done. So definitely it's not easy to achieve this, but I think we all did it with a lot of love. We really enjoyed doing it.
जब आप मनी सर के साथ काम करते हैं, कितना इजी हो जाता है अपने लिए?
कितना
इजी कहें या कंफर्टेबल कहें या कॉन्फिडेंस कहें?
After this everything will be easy. Only this will be difficult.
आप कैसे पूछना चाहिए, आप कैसे था? इजी नहीं बोलने का आपको. इजी नहीं है, क्योंकि ये फिल्म बनाने में इतना कोशिश है उसमें, वो बता नहीं सकते हम वर्ड्स पे. क्योंकि लाइक कार्ति सेड, वो मनी सर 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 साल से स्क्रिप्ट नहीं करेक्टर सुन, 15 साल से वो रिसर्च कर रहा था. और द डिटेल्स व्हिच ही केम अप विद, we were astonished with that.
The fruits you were saying.
Even the vegetables. He said that time this vegetable was not there. Don't put it in the market scene. जो आलू का वो है. So much work has gone into it, and it was not easy. But Mani sir made us comfortable, and Mani sir never spoon feeds us. He will bring out the best in a different way. And you will think that हम क्या सोचेंगे कि हमने deliver किया है ये सब performance. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. He has a way to take that out of you. So it was a beautiful experience.
So now PS2, we'll talk about PS2 a little bit also.
PS2.
May I just add to that? Also, I think Mani sir felt that, I mean, all of us were part of that thing, but he felt that there should be like a reference point. It's like a history book actually. Earlier than this, we had like MGR, who was a CM later. He is like this, but the costume, he was Roman costume. You know, the type of Roman tunic. So that is what the king used to wear, because it's the imagination was like that time. You know, to make it more beautiful or whatever. But he thought, no, it should be like how he says, the vegetable, the clothing, the style, everything. They researched so much, like, and you know, so that was a very difficult thing, and that was very beautiful.
Now second part is releasing. What would you say to audience?
We've been telling everywhere that the first part was more like an introduction, like all the characters coming together through him. We touch every character and we say, okay, this is a character, this is background, this is what's going to happen, blah, blah. So now we've come to that mid part, that is the end of the film. So now we have all the emotions, all the plots, subplots, suspense breaking. And so this is the interesting part.
Aishwarya, what would you say about PS2?
PS2, more drama, more action, more entertainment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aishwarya,
Sir,
you're nicely talking Hindi.
Hindi में बोलो.
Really nice. It was nice.
और drama, और entertainment, और मस्ती.
बिल्कुल, ज़्यादा मस्ती, ज़्यादा, oh yeah.
एक्सपेक्टेशन भी ज्यादा होंगी इस फिल्म से.
Expectations நிறைய இருக்குதுல.
Yeah.
நான் நினைக்கிறேன்.
You can
I
expect.
think it will definitely satisfy the expectations. First, I would, people finding it difficult to understand the film because the characters were, there are so many layers in the film. It's not a simple story. It's not what do you call, like Panchatantra, no? It's very simple narration. But this is from a novel, so it's very rich. It's not easy to understand it. But I think after the OTT release, people have understood what has happened so far in the story. And they're giving a recap on what has happened so far in this film PS2 too. So when audience come in, I think they will, first thing they have to understand this story, what's happening. But once they understand what's happening, the emotions that are going to flow through the film, I think it's going to be magical. Because there are fantastic 3 different angles that flow. Nandini, Aishwarya Rai's character and AK's, what is happening between them. The future greatest king, how is he going to become that? You know, and what is Vandiyathevan and Kundavai going to do to save the kingdom? So, I mean, there are 10 forces against the kingdom, how the kingdom is going to survive. So, there's so much to look out for in this film.
सर,
Expectations.
हाँ, एक्सपेक्टेशन और दर्शकों से, ऑडियंस से क्या कहेंगे?
सर मैंने पहले जब मैं यहाँ आया था PS1 प्रमोशंस के लिए, तब ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन पूछे थे आपने, क्यों देखना है PS1? मैंने बताया कि जोक तभी PS2 अंडरस्टैंड होगा आपके लिए, इसलिए अब देखना पड़ेगा PS1. अभी PS2 आ गया. जो भी लोग वो PS1 नहीं देखे थे, जाइए देखिए, OTT में है, और देख के PS2 को थिएटर में देखिए, एंजॉय करिए. और इन दोनों ने बताया, ब्यूटीफुली बताया कि पिक्चर कैसा होगा, क्या ड्रामा होगा. और अभी मैं भी ऐसे ही महसूस कर रहा हूँ. वो शूटिंग का दिन याद आ रहा है, वो सीन है, वो स्ट्रॉन्ग सीन है, वो वॉर है, ये सब कुछ है इसमें. और यूज सर्टिफिकेट है, फैमिली से देख सकते हैं. प्लीज अप्रैल 28 को अप्रैल 28 को थिएटर में जाके देखिए.
सर, चिया सर, इन 80s और 90s रजनी सर, कमल सर यूज्ड टू डू हिंदी फिल्म्स, तो हम हिंदी के ऑडियंस उन्हें पहचानते थे. बट नाउ इट इज़ यू डोंट नीड टू डू हिंदी फिल्म्स. हर चीज़ टीवी पे डब होके फिल्में आती हैं. हम हिंदी के दर्शक ऑडियंस देखते हैं. व्हेन आई वाज कमिंग टुडे, आई सेड माय 12 years old सन के आई एम गोइंग टू डू इंटरव्यू. ही सेड के मुझे भी लेकर चलो, आई वांट टू कम विथ यू. एंड ही ट्राइड टू कन्विंस मी इन 3 different characters of अपरिचित. He's only 20 years.
Papa, take me in.
What you say now, you don't need to do Hindi films. एक डब फिल्म ने इतना ज़्यादा आप लोगों को टीवी के माध्यम से टीवी के जरिए घर घर तक पहुंचा दिया है.
Or sir, I just want to add, we don't need to do Hindi films, we need to do good films.
Yeah.
Then
That's
we'll
what I'm
reach
saying. So what are you
everywhere.
saying? What is your question? You're saying so
हाँ
we
तो
need to do.
या मतलब हिंदी फिल्म्स अब देखने की ज़रूरत नहीं. इतना डब फिल्म ने आप लोगों को हिंदी ऑडियंस के बीच में भी पहुंचा दिया है. एवरीबडी नोज अबाउट ऑल ऑफ यू.
Yeah.
Correct.
क्या कहेंगे?
Thoughts on that?
Thoughts on that? I think it's thanks to the worst thing that happened to human race after World War I and II is definitely pandemic, but that helped the cinema industry with the OTT and locked us up in houses. So people after a point didn't have enough content. They started watching other languages. Initially, when you have dub film, they'll say dub film. Now people actually say, give us subtitles. I don't want to see the dub version. I want to see the original. Which is so beautiful. And
Yeah.
India is such a beautiful country where you have so many languages and cultures. So we've started watching Marathi. We've started watching Bengali, Malayalam, Kannada. And see, even Kantara recently, it's worked all over. And nobody thinks of the story. And the culture is so different. It's so shocking, the culture. Or you take KGF or whatever. It's all different. It's some part of history which it's a very really larger than life kind of a version, but people want to watch it. So there is no language. Even earlier they used to say, when do you do your Telugu film? When do you do your Malayalam film? It doesn't matter. All our films get dubbed. See, today we're sitting and talking to you. Normally we wouldn't have. Somebody else would have bought the rights. No? But now we've actually feel. I used to feel very strange. The first time it happened, like I think 5-6 years ago, 7 years ago, they'll suddenly say we're dubbing. Like even Aparijit, I felt very strange. It happened 1 year after the release. We never have simultaneous release. 1 year after the release, I was thinking, really? Come, and somebody had dubbed. Then we went to Delhi and then people liked it and I was shocked. And I was thinking, I was feeling very guilty. I was thinking, this is not an original film, But now you don't feel that because the dubbing also has become so good where you can actually dub in different languages. You never know. There'll be very few words. Like, when you, like a ka or a pa, whatever, where it shows. Like we say appa, you say dada. Like, there'll be that little, but otherwise you never know. So it's so beautiful that we are able to enjoy all these languages.